I was elected to end wars, not start them. I've spent the last 4.5 years doing everything I can to reduce our reliance on military power. But what I also know is that there are times where we have to make hard choices if we're going to stand up for the things that we care about. And I believe that this is one of those times. I knew this was going to be a heavy lift. I understand skepticism. I think it is very important, therefore, for us to work through systematically making the case to every senator and every member of Congress. And that's what we're doing. So in the coming days, I'll continue to consult with my fellow leaders around the world, and I will continue to consult with Congress. And I will make the best case that I can to the American people as well as to the international community for taking necessary and appropriate action. And I intend to address the American people from the White House on Tuesday. For the American people, at least, the concern really has to do with understanding that what we're describing here would be limited and proportionate and designed to address this problem of chemical weapons use and upholding a norm that helps keep all of us safe. Failing to respond to this breach of this international norm would send a signal to rogue nations, authoritarian regimes and terrorist organizations that they can develop and use weapons of mass destruction and not pay a consequence. And that's not the world that we want to live in. We may not solve the whole problem, but this particular problem of using chemical weapons on children, this one we might have an impact on, and that's worth acting on. Is it possible that Assad doubles down in the face of our action and uses chemical weapons more widely? I suppose anything's possible, but it wouldn't be wise. I think at that point mobilizing the international community would be easier, not harder. On Syria, I said, listen, I don't expect us to agree on this issue of chemical weapons use. Although it is possible that after the UN inspector's report, it may be more difficult for Mr. Putin to maintain his current position about the evidence. I would greatly prefer working through multilateral channels and through the United Nations to get this done. When there's a breach this brazen of a norm this important and the international community is paralyzed and frozen and doesn't act, then that norm begins to unravel. And if that norm unravels, then other norms and prohibitions start unraveling. And that makes for a more dangerous world.